Hi you guys, sorry it's been so long since my last video, but I wanted to kind of update you guys on what's going on with me. The weather in Texas has been pretty nasty the last few days, and at least over this past week I've been in bed quite a bit and not even really on the computer, not even on the laptop in my bed. I've been hurting so bad that I'm on round-the-clock meds. Probably good 2 days I spent in bed with the pain from lupus / fibromyalgia, arthritis, all kinds of things. Since my last video, I have since found out that I also have a several herniated discs in my back, arthritis, and bone spurs. So that kind of makes sense why I'm having so much pain when the weather changes. Not only just the fibromyalgia, but just the fact that I have the arthritis and bone spurs and bulging / herniated discs in my back. It's causing a lot of pain and a lot of disruption to my life, making it really hard to get around. I've also been to the doctor numerous times for bronchitis. I've developed chronic bronchitis and asthma. I'm using an inhaler in the morning, and rescue inhaler is needed. I'm averaging probably 3 or 4 asthma attacks a week, and my doctor did a lung test on me, and I guess I'm 39 and I have the lungs of a 54-year-old, and I don't smoke. So is that the lupus? Is that the fibro? Is that just a condition of where I am? I don't know. But I've had multiple issues going on since we last talked, and I just wanted to kind of update you as to why I've been down a lot and trying to figure out some kind of a pain management deal for my back. The back part had me down probably about a week or so. And the asthma and all that's ongoing. So anyway, one thing I wanted to talk about today is I have a lot of friends, not just online, but friends in real life, and I've also dealt with this myself, who are going through some issues with trying to get on disability. And they're having a heck of a time, especially for fibromyalgia. It's so hard to prove. You have to have so many of the criteria for it, and Social Security is just not caught up, as far as I'm concerned, on taking care of people with autoimmune diseases such as lupus and things that go along with it, like fibromyalgia, and trying to prove that has just been crazy. My daughter has a heart condition. She's had it since birth, and when she turned 18, this has nothing to do with fibro, but when she turned 18, they took her off Social Security. She's had 3 open heart surgeries. She's had numerous cardiac catheterizations. She's had just in and out of the hospital her whole life. Died a couple of times, came back. You know, it's just, this is something ongoing. It's never going to go away. We actually moved to Texas from Colorado because she needed to be at sea level. She was getting sicker and sicker there, and she would have probably have died by now if we hadn't moved. Anyway, point is, she turned 18 a couple years ago, and they took her off Social Security and Medicaid and said, oh, well, you know, you're an adult, you're all better now, which is the furthest from the truth. And she kind of falls into kind of a black hole of, you know, people with her condition don't usually live to be, you know, 20 years old, so there's really no place for them. So they don't, once they turn 18 and they're an adult, they're like, oh, well, you can work now, which is the furthest from the truth. She can't work. So what we had to do, we applied. We did everything that you're supposed to do when you know, reapply for Social Security, and of course she was denied. She was deemed able to work substantial gainful activity. She could sit and work, she could do whatever, but they didn't take into consideration all of her issues. And you can't really explain all of that in the paperwork that they give you. So what we had to do was get an attorney. It was a hard process trying to find one. We tried to find one on our own, and finally came across a website that helped us direct us into who would be best for us, and we found him, and he was wonderful, and he actually denied any charges. He didn't charge us. Normally attorneys charge you 25% of whatever you would get back in your back pay for Social Security, and he waived that. Told the judge, I waived my fee. He realized that we needed it more than he did, and she was finally able to get back on Social Security, get back on her Medicaid, and be able to go back to the cardiologist and not have to see a county hospital that had no idea how to deal with her congenital heart problem. So she's now back on everything, but we wouldn't have been able to get any of that done because I don't know the law. I don't know what you're supposed to write. I don't know what is more likely to convince the judge that you have a problem serious enough to be on Social Security. So having the attorney was just so important. I can't stress that enough. I have another friend of mine that it took him a couple of years to finally get it, and the only way he was able to was with an attorney. When I was diagnosed with my lupus in '97, and then my fibromyalgia and those things, it took quite a while. Once I finally had to quit work because it got too bad, I was in and out of the hospital, and I finally applied. I was denied twice before I finally got an attorney, and I mean, the paperwork that she filled out, everything that they do is just, it's so worth the 25%, because I would have no idea, what is the important thing to tell a doctor, to tell a judge, to tell whoever, because they have to get the doctor to write specific things that the judge can say, okay, this is, yeah, she can't work, basically. So I was able to hire an attorney, and the attorney helped me get my Social Security benefits, and I don't know what I would do without them. The Medicare alone is worth it. I don't get a lot of money, but that's just based on my history, my work history, but the Medicare alone is totally worth it. So anyway, I've just been thinking a lot about that because I've seen so many struggle. There are kids my daughter's age that have the same kind of issues as her with their hearts, and we see them online, and they're struggling trying to be an adult and live and work, and they can't, and trying to get their open heart surgeries covered by Medicaid because they can't work, and they need this. So I'm trying to help them out the way that people had helped me out, and show them that you need to contact an attorney. It's so important. That's why they're there. They know the law. So anyway, sorry, that's my little rant. That's been just weighing on my mind so much lately, just because there's been so many people that we know that are having this issue, and we were just having it recently with my daughter. So anyway, I will try to update more often. Sorry, if you have fibromyalgia, or you have lupus, or any of the things, arthritis and things, when the weather changes, and I've ranted about this before, when the weather changes, I can tell the day or two before it's about to happen, and those are usually the worst days. It's bad on the day that the bad weather is here, but we had this tropical storm, Hermione or whatever the name was, come through Texas, and oh my Lord, I have not heard that bad in a long time. I mean, literally crying in the bed, counting down, okay, 4 to 6 hours is the time for meds again, and nothing was working. So kind of took a little time off, but I'll be back. And hello to everybody that's out there that has been following me, and I hope you're all doing well, and talk to you later. Bye.